Hello, I'm at GufFromTheHouse.com, and I'm here with Jason Henderson from Burton Snowboards. Jason, how are you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Good morning. Good. It's actually almost lunchtime. Jason is walking us through the 2019 line. We're kind of to the category called All Mountain. Pretty much like top of the park, or top of the mountain, all the way maybe through the park, all the way down to the bottom, and everywhere else in between. Yeah. All Mountain category is really versatile, but adding into that, you can take any binding within the Burton line and take it anywhere you want to go. These ones just kind of stand out as All Mountain bindings over some of the other ones.
Yeah, that's typically what we're seeing. People, just over the years, even guys in our team, matching them up with, the boards that they ride. All Mountain. Like Ben Ferguson, like Danny Davis, Ben rides the Custom, which is right. Arguably the best all-around board. Danny with the Deep Thinker.
Right.
He rides that board, everywhere. They gravitate towards some of these bindings. So.
Got it. So kind of like from right to left, we have the Malavita, the Genesis X, and then the X base. Now, does this kind of reflect the price point too?
Yeah, so, well, as you're seeing it, would be your left to right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is kind of the, upper end of our line. So we've got, let's say, the Malavita.
Yep.
That comes in at $320.
Yep.
It does have the hammock straps on them. So, again, hammock straps, they're fully injection molded.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and that's an ASIM hammock strap, too,
This
right?
one's ASIM, yeah. You can see it's a little bit shallower towards the inside versus one that's like on the Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually, the material's a little softer too versus what's on like Genesis X. We actually vary the density of that so we can really dial it in. Benefit of the hammock strap is you don't get any pressure points. You get the response with the spine here, and then this just acts as padding.
Got it. Is the spine and the rest of the mold injected padding, is that the same material, or is that a different durometer?
It's about the same. There's a couple different designs, but
it's just
the spine itself is usually about the same, from model to model.
Yep.
But it's mainly the pad that really makes the difference.
Got it.
As far as how it flexes and where it flexes and things like that.
Okay.
Now, a couple other things to mention too. From the Malavita on up on our high end, we do have the new Super Cap 2.0.
Right.
So, which is nice. It was definitely a big improvement over the older one. So what that does, it wraps around the boot a lot better.
Right.
It is kind of tough to see on these black colorways, but there is two different materials in here. So you got kind of that nylon material, but you do have that gummy, urethane area that's gonna grip the boot.
Yeah. The other one is kind of just kind of felt the same kind of throughout. This one has like a kind of harder perimeter, and then again, like you said, like kind of like this gummy style webbing. And it feels like it's going to grip quite a bit better, especially on the inside too. It's like it's not going to be slipping around.
Well, and there's a lot of different shapes and finishes to boots out there. From Vans to 32 to Burton, even within Burton's line, the boots have different toe materials, different toe box shapes.
Mm-hmm.
So you want something that's going to wrap and kind of accommodate for all of those. And these, definitely you're not getting all the gapping or anything like that. What's nice is these are very low profile. So. I'm only a size 10 boot, so I'm not super concerned about toe drag. But you start getting into those bigger boots, 11s on up, 12s. You want to try to keep as much material off the end of the boot as possible. So this is definitely the lowest profile one that we've got. So
that's right. Yeah, the Malavita is a great all-mountain kind of freestyle binding. Same thing with the cartels.
Cartel just be stiffer.
Yep.
But these are a little bit more on the forgiving side with the 30% glass loaded nylon versus 45 on the cartel. Which just provides it stiff enough to turn anything. Yeah. But it just takes that little edge off. Depending on what you're searching for.
Mm-hmm. So. And then there's the Genesis and the Genesis X, almost identical bindings, different construction materials.
Yep. So you go actually to the Genesis. This is actually an even more comfy, even softer bindings than like the Malavita.
Wow.
So still the 30% glass loaded nylon, but here you go to the React strap. Version of the hammock, but it's the softer material.
God, softer than what you find in the Malavita.
Yeah, and then also you have the heel or the hammock in the back of the high back. So that's kind of what makes the Genesis kind of tick here. It looks like you have two different high backs.
That's right.
There's a couple components that make this thing happen. We got this piece inside here. It's called the spring. Then you got your mesh material. So what that does is when you're cranking into your bindings, this just wraps around your boot. So so while you're riding, it's moving with your boot. Doesn't even really feel like you have high backs until you go to turn, and then you press against the external high back.
Right.
So, and the external high back is a glass loaded nylon as well. So it's actually really responsive once you get there. But what's nice about Genesis is that like it's really kind of soft and kind of floaty here. Like there's just not a lot of pressure until you go to turn. It's almost like you're not even riding high backs, but you got it back there when
response.
you need it. Yeah.
I suppose that would be a good addition onto like a family tree board or kind of board.
And a lot of like I said, my personal favorite, and a lot of is Malavita, but a lot of people really like Genesis just because they like that just kind of floaty like Alexander's, he loves Genesis bindings. I just love him because I can tweak and do whatever, and Alex is a pretty interesting dude, like good dude for sure. But
what
the Froth puppy.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
what is it? Forever. It's on the Stoke or something. Something great.
Yeah.
It's
an acronym for something. But,
And then of course there's the Gen X, but it also has this crazy footbed, the spring bed, right?
On the EST version, we got the spring bed. So it's just a carbon plate basically on top. So when you're turning this, kind of think of it as like you're putting a piece of plywood on top of a mattress. So you're moving that around, it's moving the whole thing.
Right.
So it's like you're kind of floating on top of this thing, but it's still, really responsive. You go to the X version of the Genesis, you go to a carbon loaded nylon. So lighter, but even more responsive yet.
Got it.
And then also the material that we use in the ankle straps is just a
little more dense.
A little bit more responsive.
How about the high back? Is the high back the same as the regular Gen?
It does have the carbon loaded high back too. So just lighter, a little stiffer, more responsive yet.
Cool.
So it's kind of like right in between. So next step up, but
this thing it just sitting down. Yeah, it looks super tech. It looks like like an anime robot or like a Ducati something.
Transformer.
It really does. It has this really cool high tech looking appeal, like something out of like I don't know, some crazy movie, The Fifth Element or something. Like I don't know.
That spring bed's pretty interesting because it's like you can almost see right through it. It's like they just found that it's like, oh, doesn't snow get packed in there? It's like, well, anytime we try to, they just learned anytime you try to keep snow out of certain things,
snow gets in.
It gets in, but it can't get out. So it finds its way in, but you can't get out. So they just open it up, let the stuff come in and out as it pleases. So.
Right, and then lastly, this thing.
Then the super
lightweight, and it's crazy when we were like kind of moving boxes and shuffling boxes around. I wasn't even looking at what we were grabbing. I was like, that has to be.
Yeah, you almost throw it, hit the ceiling with it.
Right, extremely lightweight, super small, thin bed. Carbon fiber high back. What's the story with this thing?
So X-Base, definitely the lightest binding, like with performance. I'm sure you can find
kids bindings.
Yeah, or whatever, or some generic stuff that's technically lighter, but they don't perform. But this is the lightest binding out there that performs. So you got a carbon-loaded nylon tray. You got titanium hardware. Real minimalist, shred bed there. And then you also have a carbon fiber high back. So really responsive, really light. If somebody again wants that super knife edge performance and wants something really lightweight, the X-Base is definitely the tech one to have for sure.
And then the hammock strap on this is a touch different. It looks like it's an asymmetrical.
It's more like the ASIM. Yeah, it's like the ASIM like that's on the Malavita. So still a little bit of movement towards the inside, but your toe and heel on this is going to be really because you got the carbon high back and the carbon carbon base plate.
Cool. So even though you can put these boards on these bindings on any boards because they have the EST option and the reflex options.
Yep, all of these are available in both either EST, which is channel boards only,
right,
and then or reflex. So that goes on anything, channel 4x4, whatever's out there.
Got it. And then starting off, your guys is left to right. What do you imagine for free riding? Or all mountain riding, the Malavita would match up with as a board. And you can put them on anything, but which one do you think would do really well?
Well, I mean, like Malavita, it goes, like I said, it goes great. I mean, it goes great on custom.
Yep.
It goes great on, the Thinkers.
Cool.
Really anything. I mean, a lot of family tree boards.
Cool.
like even this. Just green colorway matches a lot of the new family tree colorways.
Yep, yep. How about the Genesis?
So then, you know, like
Genesis
like this, the Genocide.
Just genocide.
So like these, you know, I'd say like, you know, Custom X.
Okay, yeah.
You know, even some custom overlap there. Kind of like we said, you can put them on anything.
Yep.
But, you know, then that.
Same thing.
Yeah, fish. Mystery fish, like if you want the lightest setup, mystery fish with X bases would be
incredible.
That'd be the most ballin' powder stick ever.
If you were to add the X base onto a mystery fish, what boots would you ride with that combo? SLX?
Well, yeah, I mean if you're really gonna go all out,
why not?
I mean, again, boots it's personal preference there too. You know, it's
a moto.
Whatever you sit down the hill.
That's right. Cool. Well, awesome, Jayson, man. Thanks again for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yep, you're welcome. And of course, thank you guys for watching. Again, this is kind of like an overview of some highlighted all mountain bindings from Burton, the Malavita, Genesis, Genesis X, and of course the X base. All bindings that you can find here at thehouse.com by selecting the link below in the description. Leave a comment or question. Let us know what you think of these things here. Subscribe to the channel over there. Check out more vids there, and hopefully we'll see you guys on snow. Peace.